I'm not one of those guys who spends a lot of time watching the new Netflix show, the new Hotstar show, the new Prime show. I'm someone who believes that your time in your 20s should be spent doing things that'll add value to your life, that'll help you grow, and that'll kind of change you as a person for the adventure that you're going on in your real life. There's too many real life adventures to go on to spend your time watching too many shows on Netflix or a Hotstar or a Prime Video. That's why in today's episode of The Ranveer Show, India's most value adding podcast, we're going to recommend our top 5 shows that you can watch online right now that will add some kind of value to your life. It'll add layers to your mind. Firstly, the show that I recommend above anything else, it's a fictional show, but it's kind of semi fiction, I guess. It's called Black Mirror. I'm sure a bunch of y'all must have watched this. And for those of you who haven't, it's about humans in the near future. So that's like, say, 10, 20 years from now. Technology is a big factor in that show. It talks about how technology is going to become so advanced that it's going to become an integral part of human life. For example, maybe we'll be able to install chips in our head which record everything we see through our actual eyes. Kind of like those Snapchat goggles, but contact lens style. For example, maybe someone will be able to take all their consciousness, all their intelligence, and put it entirely inside a video game or a virtual reality world. Maybe they'll pass away, but even after passing away, the intelligence and the consciousness, that's their soul, can be put inside a computer system. These are some of the plot lines that you'll see on Black Mirror. It's one of those shows that is very entrepreneurial almost. I feel that if you're a young businessman and you're looking for the next big tech idea, this show will get your mind to think in that direction. It'll get your mind to expand a little bit. That's what I love about this show. Every time you watch an episode, it challenges you. It challenges how you think of the world. It challenges what you think of machines. It challenges what you think of technology. And I honestly feel that your mind is molded because of external forces. Now, these can be life experiences, or this can be someone else's wacko mind's ideas imprinted onto your mind. And that's why I feel that Black Mirror is one of those shows that really messes with your head, but it'll open up your head in many places that you didn't expect to be opened. Okay, show number 2. It's called Silicon Valley. It's a show about startups. Again, I am an entrepreneur. I love shows like that. I love shows that teach me something. There's 2 big reasons I feel you should watch this show. Firstly, the fact that it teaches you business through a fictional show. It shows you the life of young entrepreneurs, what it takes to grow big, what it takes to become rich, what it takes to run a multi-million-dollar company, all the challenges involved. And it's a really funny show. So it's infotainment packaged as a funny fictional show. You learn a lot from this show. If you're a young entrepreneur, you'll get a lot of inspiration from it. But the second reason I want you to watch this show is because it's about losers. Just like you and me. Everyone on the inside somewhere kind of looks down on themselves a little bit. We don't think we're heroes. We don't think we're motivational speakers. Somewhere we look down on ourselves a little bit. And this is a story about losers just like that, who actually make it really big through honest hard work. That's why it's inspiring. It's very relatable. Every single person who watches this show will find a piece of themselves inside that show. Okay, show number 3. It's called Cosmos. It's hosted by one Neil deGrasse Tyson. I don't know how you pronounce his surname, but it's basically a show about the universe. Just how Black Mirror challenges your mind in terms of technology. This one challenges your mind based on mathematics, physics, and past science discoveries. It's not a fictional show. It's one of those shows where Neil deGrasse Tyson actually takes you through revolutionary moments in human history. Say when we discovered that the earth revolves around the sun, or say when the first telescope was invented, what the human story was at that point. It's a beautifully made show. There's a cartoon called Family Guy, made by someone called Seth MacFarlane. I've grown up watching Family Guy. It was a big part of my creative education in life. That same guy has been an executive producer on this show. I think he's created this show as well. It's some of the best graphics that you'll ever witness in any kind of series. This is the show I highly recommend if you're looking for something extremely heavy to watch. It's such a heavy show that you won't be able to watch more than 1 episode per night. It's just too much information to soak in. For example, I remember there was one episode where Neil deGrasse Tyson is trying to explain the quantum world, which is the world of atoms. So this is the world that you and me know, the physical world, which is about this size, your and my size. Our physical laws are based on Newton's laws, like gravity. Like every action has an equal and opposite reaction. But once you reduce the size of yourself to the size of atoms, the laws of physics change. The way gravity is changes. Everything in that quantum world completely changes. And there's one entire episode that takes you through the quantum world. There's one entire episode that actually even takes you through a black hole, what it must be like after passing through a black hole. How Neil deGrasse Tyson actually travels through the black hole, and when he comes out on the other side, he's in a new dimension with new colors. So think of all the colors you know. Think of red, think of yellow, think of purple. Now think of a color that doesn't exist yet. What makes you think that all the colors you see are the only colors that exist? Cosmos talks about concepts like that, what that next color could be. That's how it unlocks your mind. Anyway, show number 4 on the much lighter side. It's called Entourage. It's a show I grew up watching. It's about a Hollywood star who basically has come up from humble beginnings, and he's brought all his close friends and family with him from New York to LA, and he's just trying to make it big in Hollywood. It's at that point in his life where things are just starting to go well, and as the show progresses, you see his rise in the world of Hollywood. But that's not the core aspect of the show. The core aspect of the show is friendship and good times. Now, I grew up as a teenager watching this show. There's a lot of drugs, alcohol, sex in this one, but it's also one of the funniest shows you'll watch. It's one of the shows that really kind of plants a seed of ambition in your life. I remember as a kid, someone in one of these school projects asked me what I want to be doing at 25. And I said, I want a life like the one they showed in Entourage, as a joke, because I thought that's really not possible. The word entourage means a group following you everywhere. Now, when I started BeerBiceps was started with the intention of becoming a startup and growing in the business world. Little did I know at the age of 25, I will actually have my own version of an entourage. I have my video team following me. I have my management team following me. I have monkey peeps following me. So I actually simulated that reality for myself. And I genuinely feel that the chase for growth in the media industry was planted when I was a 14-year-old watching Entourage. I said, hey, you know what? I want that. I want to be able to go and travel the world with my closest friends and work with them at the same time. That's the other aspect of the show. He takes all of his friends and gives them roles around him. One person's his manager, one person's his agent, one person runs his businesses. That's exactly what I wanted. That's what I thought would be a dream life. So the life I'm living right now is pretty much a dream for the 14-year-old version of me. If you want glamored up inspiration, Entourage is your show. Okay, and the fifth and final show. This is a show I've just discovered. This has actually been the discovery of my lockdown phase. It's called The Last Dance. It's a docu-series, not a documentary. It's like a TV show based on real events. And the real events are based on the life and times of Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls. It's an in-depth look into that man's mind, into the mind of his teammates, into their story, how they built a championship-winning team from absolutely nothing. From 0 to 100. That's what the show is about. And it's one of the most beautifully shot shows you'll watch in your life. That I can promise you. If you're a filmmaker, if you're an editor, this one's a must watch because you'll pick up a lot of nuggets of storytelling, of great editing, of great camera work from The Last Dance. But on a personal level, for me, I do feel I've reached a stage in my life where I have accomplished something. I'm not a nobody anymore. And these are those phases in your life where you need that little external bit of motivation. You can't always rely on your mentors to give you motivation. You can't rely on your meditation to always give you motivation. You do need that little pop culture influence. I've been spending my lockdown time watching and re-watching this show. It's on Netflix. Oh my God. After every single episode, I'm more motivated than ever. It gives me my hunger to go out and record these podcasts. It's extremely difficult to be doing this. I've actually trained my cousin to shoot and record these podcasts because my entire team was stuck at home throughout this phase. It's not easy creating content like this A lot of lockdown days are extremely difficult. And man, it did require that little extra bit of motivation. I did spend some of these lockdown days a little bit frustrated, crying a little bit because I was just like, yo, I've picked up a very difficult career. I'm extremely blessed to be working during this phase, but it's not easy. And that's what it takes. It requires that little Michael Jordan style mentality. That's what I wanted to talk to you guys about in this episode. Please, please, if you have to pick only one show to watch out of all these, watch The Last Dance first. I hope you enjoyed this episode of The Ranveer Show. Super quick. I've only given you all show recommendations which really added layers to my mind. I hope you enjoy it. And until next time, blessings, good vibes, lots of fiery motivation that should come your way.